Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi has been killed in a helicopter crash in mountainous terrain near the Azerbaijan border. The charred wreckage of the helicopter, which crashed on Sunday, carrying Raisi and 8 others, was found around 12 hours after the crash. This after an overnight search in extreme weather conditions, with the Iranian Red Crescent Society releasing the first video of the crash site this morning. Iranian state television reported no survivors were found at the location. In a video shared by the IRC, search and rescue teams were seen studying a map and GPS as they tried to locate President Ebrahim Raisi's helicopter, which went missing in a fog-shrouded mountain area of northwest Iran.
نه سوخته متی ببین این ملخ اینجاست کابین سوخته کامل.
Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian was among the 9 people on board the chopper. The helicopter came down in Iran's East Azerbaijan province, triggering a massive search operation. IRC said over 70 search and rescue teams were deployed in the rescue operations. Several countries, including Turkey, Russia and Azerbaijan, assisted Iran in the search operations.
در حال آنالیز منطقه هستن الان هم داریم می‌بینین دقیقاً به وضوح کامل.
Late Sunday night, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that they had detected the exact location of the crash after receiving a signal from the helicopter and the mobile phone of one of the crew. The Iranian authorities then identified a 2-kilometer radius for the crash site in the Dizmar forest area, but poor weather and low visibility complicated the search effort. President Raisi and Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian were returning to Iran after inaugurating a dam on Iran's border with Azerbaijan. The helicopter carrying the president lost contact, while 2 other choppers in the convoy arrived at their destination safely.
که تهران و باکو آن را نماد همکاری‌های مشترک دو کشور معرفی می‌کند.
The report of the accident first emerged around 1 p.m. GMT on Sunday. Around half an hour later, Iran's Interior Minister Ahmed Vahid informed that rescue teams were rushed to the crash site. By 2:30 p.m. GMT, 40 rapid response teams were deployed for search operations. Today, around 12:13 a.m., the crashed helicopter was located and rescue teams were sent to the spot.
سنگین حاکم در منطقه هست و خب همین شرایط جوی نامساعد.
Following which, at 1:02 a.m., Iranian state media announced that no sign of life was found at the helicopter crash site. Around an hour later, at 2:07 a.m., Iranian officials confirmed it to Reuters that President Raisi and Foreign Minister have been killed in the helicopter crash. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has urged people to not worry about the leadership of the Islamic Republic. A cabinet statement was issued after the confirmation of Raisi's death, which said the Iranian government will continue to operate without the slightest disruptions. All right, for more on this, our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik joins us on the broadcast. Anas is currently in Astana, Kazakhstan, where the Iranian FM Hossein Amir Abdullahian was supposed to attend the SCO meet. Thank you so much for joining us, Anas. Of course, shocking news that is coming in. What is the latest on this?
Well, yes, unfortunate news, shocking news, as you rightly said, that the Iranian president's helicopter has crashed and that no survivors on board have been found. All bodies are accounted for, they are burnt. That's what rescue sources that we spoke to on background have confirmed, that all bodies are accounted for, but some bodies have major burns on them that makes it difficult for them to be carried back, or those particular pieces to be carried back in one shape. That being said, there were 9 people on board this chopper that included the President of Iran, Dr. Sayyid Ebrahim Raisi, the Foreign Minister of Iran, Hossein Amir Abdullahian, then the Imam of the Grand Mosque of Tabriz, the Governor of Eastern Azerbaijan province of Iran. Then there were 2 pilots, the head of security for the Iranian president, Brigadier Mousavi, and then there was another bodyguard and a cabin crew on board. All of them did not manage to survive this fatal crash, and as a reason of which the government of Iran, while they are yet to issue an official statement, they have announced a state of mourning here in Astana, where the Iranian foreign minister was due to be present, to land rather, in about 4 hours from now at 3 p.m. local time for the SCO Council for Foreign Ministers meeting. Due to this unforeseen incident, this unfortunate accident, now Iran will be represented by the Iranian Chargé here in Astana, but the meeting will go ahead with while starting with a condolence reference for those who have lost their lives.
Absolutely, Anas. I believe the obvious question next is what happens to the Iranian administration, the transition that will happen right now, even though they have said that there is no need to worry about it. But what are your expectations with regards to that?
Well, the constitution is very clear with regards to that. There has to be 2 things. One, the first vice president, that is Mohammad Mokhber, he will be notified by the supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei as the next person in charge to run the daily affairs of the government. That is number 1. And number 2, it is sort of a responsibility on the part of the new president to execute, to ensure that a presidential election is held in 50 days, 50 days. So we would be seeing some changes on the part of Iran. But just if I just walk you through President Raisi as a person, I think because he was just there in Islamabad last month, less than a month back, we heard him there up close in a very informal gathering, in a close circle. He was someone, as a person, he was someone who had very strong views, very strong opposition as well, or rather conflicting views. But even despite the fact that one would disagree with their views, he would go on to meet them with a smile, and that is something that I saw up close just on the 22nd of April in Islamabad, when Ebrahim Raisi, Dr. Sayyid Ebrahim Raisi, now late, who he was there. He was addressing a small gathering organized by the Iranian embassy, where he spoke at length on almost all of the topics, especially with regards to the normalization of ties with Israel. And when we pointed, when there were a handful of journalists there, when I pointed it to him that how his stance was different to how it was previously, he said, while Iran has changed under his administration, he's not someone who would want to wait and watch, but rather go at it from the right, from preempted, and go at things right at the top of it.
Right. Well, Anas, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this. We'll of course continue to monitor the situation closely. Also joining us on this bulletin, we have with us Dr. Meir Javed Anfar, who is an Iranian lecturer, author and commentator. He's been teaching Iranian politics at Richmond University in Israel since 2012. So thank you so much for joining us. Of course, shocking news coming from Iran. What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, this is something that is unlikely to have a major impact on Iranian politics, excuse me, in the short term. President Raisi did not have much influence in terms of in areas such as security and foreign policy. This was more in the hands of the security establishment and the supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei. Where Mr. Raisi did relatively have more influence was in Iran's economy. and his record was not very good. The average yearly inflation during his tenure is believed to be the highest since the records began in the 1930s. So his death is of course a shock to the political establishment of Iran. I'm sure it's a very big shock to the Iranian supreme leader, but this is unlikely to bring a major change in terms of stability for the Islamic Republic. I expect the Islamic Republic to continue in the same trajectory as it was before, and I think that the process to elect a new president is unlikely to bring major stability challenges to the Islamic Republic.
All right. Well, Dr. Javdanfar, I'm going to have to ask you to please stay on with us. We're also now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, shocking news that's come in from Iran. What can you tell us about this, Siddhant? How do you see this impacting India-Iran ties?
Well, essentially, the legacy of President Raisi will be remembered fondly in India. We know that India and Iran just a few weeks ago concluded the long-term contract on the Chabahar port, and India sees a civilizational relationship with Iran. In fact, we know that right now in Delhi, the Iranian flag is on half-mast at the Iranian embassy. But essentially, when it comes to this relationship, the focus has always been how there can be a positive trajectory with, of course, the Chabahar port, given that India saw that as a key to its connectivity towards its westwards. But there were challenges, including, of course, the Iranian side keen that India imports its oil needs from Iran. That, of course, faced the US sanctions.
Right. And now, Dr. Javdanfar, coming back to you, of course, as you know, tensions have been escalating in West Asia. This is a shocking news that's come from Iran now. Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian was supposed to be in Kazakhstan for the SCO meet as well. How do you assess the situation and how do you see things pan out going forward?
The foreign minister will be, first and foremost, the way forward will be the following. There will be the deputy president of Iran is going to take over the post of president temporarily, Mr. Mokhber. But meanwhile, a new council is going to be formed, and its members are going to be the head of the judiciary, Mr. Ejei, the head of the speaker of the parliament, Mr. Ghalibaf, and the deputy president. And they're going to arrange a presidential election within the next 50 days in Iran, which if I'm not mistaken, will be around 8th of July. This is the way forward. Some people are already saying that the current Speaker of the Majlis, the former Speaker of the Parliament, Mr. Ghalibaf, who has been a presidential contender since 2005, he could be the next president. He's the closest bureaucrat that there is to the supreme leader, and he's well known to the Iranian public. Some people are touting him as the next possible winner of the presidential election. I think that's a possibility. But for now, it's very important for the Islamic Republic to show that everything is continuing unabated, and that the stability of the Islamic Republic is not affected in any way. The supreme leader is doing that. Filling the shoes of President Raisi and Foreign Minister Abdullahian is not going to be that difficult, because President Raisi was elected in an election where it was almost a one-man race in terms of his other rivals. And the turnout was historically low, so it's not going to be very difficult to replace it.
All right. Well, Dr. Javdanfar, thank you so much for joining us. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.